Hi guys.
Hi. Welcome to Two Peas on a Pod.
The first episode.
The
So
premiere.
excited. The premiere.
Debut.
The grand premiere. Everyone's been waiting. Everyone's been so
literally on the edge of their seats.
By everyone,
thinking,
just us.
Just us and our like three friends. Well, I'm Dee.
And I'm Lennon.
Nice to meet everyone.
It's not that nice. It is not that nice. Everyone
What would
sucks.
you say that? No,
I'm just kidding. I love every single one of you, everyone listening, except for Chad. Chad, I hate you.
I don't think there's gonna be a guy named Chad.
Chad's our number one fan. He's been listening since day one. He's like, damn, they really hate me.
Listening since day one, and this is the first episode. He's like in the room with us. No. Yeah, well, this is our podcast. This is the first episode. Very exciting.
So exciting.
Yes, we've been planning for a while. How was your week, bestie?
My week, it's been brutal. It's been a tough one, you know. Well, I got a new job at like a movie theater, which is kind of exciting because I like movies. But then again, my manager is like 15 years old, so it's a weird process, you know. I'm trying to like be like, yeah, my manager is younger than me, making more money than me. That's life, baby. But you know, I'm living through it. How's your week?
My week, was a bit it was a little up and down myself.
We're going through it.
Yeah, we are kind of going through it. I have to have my journal open because I literally don't remember what happened to me. I just like immediately put it out of my mind. Like I cannot recall a single thing. But yeah, I mean, like, my job has been fun. It's still relatively new, so I'm still learning things. I kind of had it out with one of my coworkers.
What?
Yeah, it's like not that serious. I mean, like,
but is it serious?
It's not. It's really not. It's really not that serious.
Did you guys fight physically?
Well, oh my god, imagine
the ground, push down. Oh my god.
No, we didn't. I worked in this like office and I had to update some information, and my coworker had given me this like list of people. Like I work for like a kind of like club / society kind of thing, so we have like members we have to keep track of, and I had to update their membership ID numbers, and she gave me this sheet of paper. It was like a spreadsheet from Excel. First of all, this shit could have been an email. Okay. She came in here stomping on in, already rambling the minute she enters my fucking office, and it could have been an email. It could have been an email, and I was like thrown off. I was like freaked out, and so she hands me this like Excel spreadsheet, and it's got this list of names. Some of them don't have numbers, some of them do, and some of them were like highlighted and she had notes in them. And so basically what she wanted me to do was she wanted me to cross-reference and make sure their ID numbers were right in our system and stuff like that, and to not worry about the ones that she had left notes on. She did not explain it that way.
Oh, no.
She did not explain it that way. She explained it in the most long and convoluted way possible. I was so fucking confused. I was like, okay, you know, and I did what I thought she asked me to. And the ones that had already had numbers, I just didn't do anything with because I thought that's what she said. That's not what she said. And I gave the list back to her, and like 5 minutes later she comes stomping into my office and like is all like rambling off, like asking me questions and shit, and she's like, oh, how did you do this, what did you do? And I was like, ugh. And I was really confused, and I got annoyed because she kept interrupting me. So she would like ask me questions,
God.
And I kept trying to like explain to her like what I did, and like I was like trying to explain to her that she confused me and stuff like that, but she kept interrupting me, talking over me, and like even like laughed at me like condescendingly or
What?
something like that. Yeah, like she was like condescending me, and I was like, what the? And I was getting heated, like I was getting mad.
I
And
would have punched her.
no, oh my
How
god,
old
I
is
was
she?
so
How
close.
old is she?
Girl, she's like 40.
She has no
40
business.
years old
No
acting
business
childish.
acting like that.
No, I was
To be fair,
so
I'm gonna be acting like that when I'm 40. I'm gonna be nuts off my rockers. But I
no,
love
but like
judging.
I was like, why is she acting this way? And I got louder because she kept interrupting me, and I was like, can you like please listen to me? And I told her, I was like, well, you said this and this and that, and I guess that it confused me, and I thought you meant this when you really meant that. And then she like was like, oh, you're getting argumentative with me, you don't have to get argumentative with me. And I was like, I'm
Oh
literally
my
not
god.
arguing with it. I was getting so mad. I was getting so mad,
In the
honestly.
office?
Like I literally was just like yelling at her because she wouldn't let me speak, and then she was doing the whole like, oh, you're getting loud with me, you're getting like, you're yelling at, like you're arguing with me. I was like, what are you talking? I was like, oh my god,
No.
you're crazy. And so then we finally settled whatever the hell was going on, and she left, and I was like, oh my fucking god. And I went home and I like screamed about it to my mom, like I was so pissed. Oh my god.
And that's so weird because like I feel like your job is relatively like really calm. So for her
Yeah,
to come in
it's
like that,
literally, no, literally it it is so low stress. Like there's no reason. Like it wasn't urgent, it wasn't an emergency. It literally wasn't. I don't know why. She's
she
like,
was probably taking out something on you. Her marriage is failing. She's like,
no,
it's
honestly,
time to take it
she
out on D.
literally she literally like she has nothing go. I don't know why she's so high strung all the time. She's so high strung all the time. And I'm just like, what? And this is me saying this, like I am high strung. But I was like, what are you, like, sit down. I literally, like, when she doesn't have anything to do, which is often, she'll like pace the office.
Oh God.
And then she's just like click clacking along like the floors. And everyone else, there's only 5 people in the office. So it's like the four of us are like, oh my, we can't get anything done because she's just pacing back and forth. And then she comes into my office, rearranges shit, and then leave. I'm like, can you like, what if you need these files? Why are they not in your office? Like, please, oh my God. It throws me off. It's so
She's giving like ant energy, like a little
no,
bug.
like no, literally. So that kind of took over my week. I was a little stressed, and she stresses me out so much for no reason. Like I'm on edge every time she walks into the room. Besides that, it started out bad, but it got better towards the end, and I had a great weekend. And yeah, here I am now. I had a pretty decent day today, so
My day was pretty good too.
that's good.
Low stress today.
Slay.
This is what I was looking forward to though.
Yeah, me
So much
too. I
fun.
was so excited. I've been so excited to start this
No, me too.
and chat.
Should we tell the people how we met?
Yes.
I
Oh my
feel like the
God.
story
This
is
is so funny.
exciting.
It is a little exciting, like because we've been like friends for a few years now. Like, did you
Yeah.
realize that?
Was it 2018 or 2019?
I think it was like late 2018, I think,
Yeah.
maybe 29, like early 2019. We've
So
been
it's been a
friends for
while.
like 4 years.
Yeah, I never realized it because I feel like I've
neither.
known you forever, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it doesn't feel like it's been that long.
I realized this the other day. Like we were texting and I realized this. I was like, oh my God, like we've been friends for like a long time.
Yeah,
We met on Twitter.
as everyone does.
As
The best
everyone
people
does.
meet on Twitter.
In our generation. We did
Don't
not
talk
listen
to strangers. We talk to strangers.
Yeah, like we did not listen to our parents, and we met on Twitter. Well, we were both like older when we met on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like I think I was like 18, and what are you like?
I was like 17 or 18.
Yeah. So we weren't like kids, But
Imagine we were both like 40-year-old men pretending to be like these young people. And then when we met up, we were like, wait a minute.
we like scammed
we
each other.
actually never like FaceTimed before we met up.
No, yeah, all we did, like we were just like like we would message on Twitter.
Yeah.
And like interact on the timeline, and that's all we did. We just like messaged and interact. We never like FaceTimed or anything.
No.
And then we were genius decision. That was irony. And we both like the same music, obviously, but
Yeah.
and that's how we met on Twitter.
We met on AM Twitter.
Our
So
stan
Arctic
days.
Monkeys Twitter. That was our stan days.
Our stan days.
We connected over Alex Turner and the lads.
Exactly. So we met through that, and like we had a lot of artists in common, and one of them was a French band named Papoose. They're French, but they make music in English.
Yeah.
And they're like relatively
French indie rock kind of.
Yeah, they're very that, and they kind of have like a they're kind of like summery, I would say.
Yeah.
Like they have really fun music. And so they were coming to my area, which is like the East Coast, and we were chatting about it, and we were like, oh my god, why don't we like meet up and see them together?
Well, I think I noticed that you like tweeted something about them or put out like one of their songs in like a tweet or something, and I'm like, oh, you listen to them?
Yeah,
because I was already planning to like go see them, but like I didn't know where, because they were coming to the US for like the first time, I think. And then I'm like, wait a minute, Dana likes them? I get to meet up.
Yeah, and then like we were like, whoa, like you like them? It was so funny. And so then Lennon got tickets for New York and Boston, and they were like 2 nights in a row, and we were like, oh my god. And I had her stay with me for the New York shows, and then the show, and then we got an Airbnb for the Boston show. And so that was like, now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wow, we just like did that, and like didn't.
But also we realized that Alexandra Savior was playing the night that the New York show was going on.
Oh yeah, like we literally like
we have to see her.
Yeah, I think you like saw tweeters, like maybe she tweeted it out or like posted something about how she had like tickets still available, and so we were like, oh my god, we have to see her. And because I mean, we like her more than Papoose. We've
been wanting to see her for a really long time.
Yeah. And she's so good live. And it was like really exciting, and
it was convenient that it was like the same time that we were going to be together.
Yeah, it was the same day as the Papoose concert. I think the Papoose concert was supposed to start at like 7, and I think
we were trying to arrange like where we could go to both of them.
Yeah,
we're crazy. We're like, okay, so if we get to the Alexandra one at this time, we could leave and go to the Papoose one. And it would not have worked out.
No, it wouldn't have, because the Alexandra one was at Mercury Lounge and the Papoose one was in Brooklyn. So we were like, that's we were not happening.
Nuts.
Yeah. So we ended up getting rid of our tickets. I sold my ticket to a friend of mine at the time, and and so we saw Alexandra at Mercury Lounge, and this was February of 2020. So before everything happened. We're
like, this year's gonna be so great.
No, literally, and it was crazy because like we had so much luck. Like we were the first ones on the queue. We got a really great spot. We literally met Alexandra, and we had given her like a stuffed animal and like roses, and she got us like hot chocolate, and we got to chat with her after the show. And you got your record signed, right?
I got something. I got a set list signed.
So you got your set list signed. Like we had a lot of good luck. She was so nice, and she like waved to us when she came on stage.
It was just like a really cool moment. Like the luck of it all was like, it was so perfect.
It was so good. So we were like, oh my god. And we were just talking about this the other day. That was when Bad Decisions came out by the Strokes, when it was released as a single.
And that's another band that like really connected us too.
Yeah.
So it was cool that it came out while we were queuing for Alexandra, because we're like, this is such a moment.
Yeah. And I think you were filming like a concert vlog at the time, and you had filmed us like dancing along to it. And what's crazy is that, well, I have to tell more of this story because it's like there's so many weird. Okay, so it was like seemingly like unimportant when they happened, or like, what's the word? Not unimportant. I can't think of the word, but it was like
it didn't seem relevant.
Yeah, it wasn't relevant at the time, but we saw Alexandra at Mercury Lounge, and that was like the first time we met like in real life, you know. And then we saw Papoose in Boston, and either after the show, I think it was after the show, we were like getting ready for bed, and Inhaler tickets went on sale.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, tickets for Inhaler are going on sale. And I did not listen to Inhaler at the time. I was like, what the fuck is Inhaler? And you told me about them and like the whole spiel, and like I think you played one of their songs for me, and I was like,
Maybe.
oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
okay.
I think I did in the car because we went on a road trip to Boston, you know what I mean?
And you played
so
like
we
the music to me.
yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, I kind of like them. And so you got like tickets. Good. Yeah, I was like, yeah,
they're okay.
You know, they're okay. Did you just call them mid?
No, I didn't. I would never say that. I love Inhaler. They're my best friends.
I'm just kidding. No, we both really like them. And so Lennon got tickets to see them. And this is important because 2 years later was when we finally were able to see them
after the whole nightmare,
after everything happened. And we saw them at Mercury Lounge of all places. We saw them at Mercury Lounge.
And that was the first like venue we ever went to together.
Yeah.
And we saw them there again.
And we saw them there, and we had a lot of luck. We literally got to chat with Rob, the bassist, for like a while. It was like crazy.
So chill. He was so down to earth.
He was really nice. Yeah.
Although he does not like Eyes of the World by the Strokes.
No, he's literally,
I can never forgive him for that. Every time I hear that song, I'm like, how does he not like this song?
No, literally. Okay, that's funny because like we were telling him that they have to cover a Stroke song.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, what song? Yeah, because they literally do. And he was like, well, what song? And I was like, Eyes of the World, because I really like that song. It's one of my favorites. And he was like, what the fuck? I hate that song. We're not covering that shit.
Like, he goes, why would we cover that?
He's like, why would we cover that? I don't like that song.
And we're like,
I was like,
we both gave him like crazy eyes. We're like, what's wrong? I was like,
okay, well, fuck me then.
I think I told him I hated him at that moment. I was
like, I think you did.
No, I said, no, fuck you.
No, and you also you told him to put A Night on the Floor back in the set list.
Yeah.
And he was like, but we have to take a song off. And then you went, oh, well, what did you say? You said, we'll take
Slide out the window.
You said, we'll take out Slide Out the Window. I don't like that song anyway.
No, I think I said, I hate that song. And he goes,
yeah.
He was like dead in his tracks. He's like, huh?
He like stops and like then starts laughing.
And he's like, I respect your honesty.
He's like, what the fuck? And it was really funny.
But that was just like a really good moment.
Yeah.
Because we saw them 2 nights in a row, right?
Yeah.
Because they added an extra date. So like both those nights were like incredible.
Yeah. Night 2
the fact it was at the same venue.
Yeah, it was at the same venue. And then in April, we saw the Strokes live.
Yes.
Finally.
And then we saw Bad Decisions live together.
Saw Bad Decisions live.
So like we were together when they like released the song.
Dropped it.
And then we were together to see it live. And it was like a full circle moment. Like it was so cool.
Oh my God. It
felt so good. It felt like achieving something. I don't know.
No, like it felt so important. And you like took a video and then you sent me that like edit you made.
Oh yeah.
It was
so cute. I watched that like every few days.
Me too. I literally play it all the time.
Like I cry because I'm like, dang, that's my best friend. Oh,
I'll literally start crying. You're my bestie.
Oh no, now I'm actually gonna get emotional.
No, like this is like
our friendship has just like crazy like coincidences.
Yeah,
and, like, things just like lead up to things. It's so weird.
It's so weird. Like things just like happen to us. It's crazy.
We don't even try. It just happens.
No,
we like attract something. It's weird.
I don't know what it is, but shit just happens. Like good shit. Shit happens. Oh my God, that's
imagine
like crazy.
It was bad shit. Imagine we had like the worst luck together.
Oh my God.
What would we do? We'd be like, hey, can't really hang out anymore.
I can't hang out with you anymore. Maybe we should never speak again because nothing good happened.
That would suck, you know, because I feel like that really could have a toll on our friendship.
Yeah, I'm glad. No, but I'm glad we've been friends this long. This is so exciting. Like, oh my gosh. I was like thinking about that. There are like so many of my friends that I met on Twitter that I'm like really close to that I've known for like 4 years now, which is like crazy to think about. Like that's literally insane.
That's a long time. I don't like remember anything from 4 years ago. You know what
I
I
literally
mean?
don't either.
So it's
And
weird to be like, we've been friends that long.
yeah, and it's crazy though, because like going back to what you said of like you felt like you like knew me your whole life. Like I felt that too. Like I literally
Yeah.
feel like I've known you. Like there's sometimes where like I want to go do something and like I have a brief moment where I'm like, let me go ask Lennon if she wants to come. And then it's like I can't because
No,
we live in
it's weird
different
that
states.
you say that because I think that too. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like Dana would love this. I wish we could go do this. And
No,
it's like,
literally. Like I'm so pissed. I just want to like I saw like a tweet one time or like a post one time where it was like someone saying how they just wish they could like have a neighborhood where it was just them and their friends. And I was like, that's literally it. Like I literally just want my friends to be my neighbors.
I feel like one day we'll live like near each other and we can hang out all the
Yes.
time.
Oh my gosh, please. Pleek. I need
Please.
that. I need that. No, because like I just want because I don't really live close to like any of my friends. Like I do have friends within like my area, but I'm not as like close with them as I am with like you or my friend that lives in New York or like literally anyone else. Like I have so many friends that live in other countries, other states. And I'm just like, when I want to do something, I literally can't. Like I can't do
No,
it
me
with
too.
friends.
Me
It's
too. Like all
so
my friends I've met like online, so they live everywhere else.
yeah, it like sucks.
But you know what's cool? Even though we like live so far from each other, we still manage to like meet up in person and hang out.
Yeah, it's funny because I do have like a mutual I've been mutuals with for years, and she lives in the same state as me, and we have never met in person. She
One
literally
day you
lives
guys
like,
will. You guys will.
yeah, it's like every time we try, something happens.
I know. It's
It's so
crazy.
funny. It's happened so many times. And it's crazy because she lives like 25 minutes away from me. Like she does not live far from me.
No, because you're always talking like you're like, oh, we're gonna meet up finally. And I'm like, yay.
Yeah.
And then something it really does like
We were
always get cut
supposed to
short.
see the neighborhood like a while ago. And then
Mitski, right?
yeah, and we were also supposed to see Mitski. Yeah, so she had told me, I guess like I think the cases were rising at the time. We were supposed to see the neighborhood, and I was kind of like iffy on it too. I was gonna like play it by what she wanted to do, and so she was like, and the tickets weren't like that expensive. I don't remember them being. They weren't over $100. They were like under $100, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But she was like, my parents don't really want me to go out. I don't really feel comfortable going out at this time. I was like, oh, you're totally fine. I was kind of iffy on it too. And so that ended that. And then she had tweeted about having like someone bailing on her. Like she was supposed to see Mitski with someone and they kind of bailed on her. And I was like, oh my God, I like Mitski. Like I'll go with you if you don't want to go alone. And she was like, oh my God, would you? And so we planned to do that. And then Mitski rescheduled that date. And then I was like, do you want to still go? Like, or whatever. And she's like, yeah, why don't we like see how things play out? And I was like, yeah, let's do that. And so then I like talked to her. I was like, do you still want to go? I mean, like, I'm fine either way. Like, if you want to go, like, I will go with you if you don't want to go alone. And she was like, I don't even want to go anymore. And I was like, yeah, I get you. Like, everyone was just kind of like, I don't want to do anything. It was like that thing where it's like, you want to go, but then it like gets complicated and you're just like, ugh. You're like, I don't want to go
like
that
the
much.
effort
Like,
to go, it's like
yeah, you're like, I don't really care that much. So then that happened. It's just so funny how it's like repeatedly.
Yeah. I
Something
think
always
one day something will bring you guys together.
yes. And it'll be like,
Hopefully.
I feel like it'll be like completely accidental.
Yeah, no, maybe you guys will just like run into each other. You'll be at
Yeah.
like the same restaurant. You'll be like, wait a minute.
Wait a second.
Like, this is real life.
I saw oomph in real life, not clickbait. But it's funny because like
always my fear to run into someone from Twitter in real life.
Oh my God, please.
No, because it happened to me when we were in line for inhaler. The girl was really nice, but she recognized me from Twitter, and I was like, "Oh, hey."
Oh yeah, I remember who you're talking about. Yeah.
I don't know anybody on Twitter because I just like nobody has like their actual faces on their profile typically.
Yeah.
So when people are like, "Oh my God, I know you from Twitter," I'm like, I don't know you. I feel so bad. But yeah, like in the inhaler like girl incident, incident. Anyway,
Incident.
like
Incident.
like she was really nice, and like now I know her,
I
but
remember
it's
who you're
like,
talking about. She was sweet about it.
oh, she's so nice too.
But it's funny because like I remember that, and it's like I always forget like how many followers you have, or like how like quote unquote notable you are.
Who, me?
And-
No, but like I feel like I don't have that many followers. Like I don't know how people like recognize me from like Twitter or anything, because I'm like, I feel like I have a typical amount.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's weird because I don't think like
I don't see you as having like a crazy platform either, but like then people like recognize you.
No, it's crazy to me because like I don't know how to feel about it, because I've been
Yeah.
recognized a few times, just saying. No,
Oh
but
my
like
God.
it's such a weird experience, because you don't like, I would never in my life expect that to happen to me,
Yeah.
because I don't see myself as that. I see myself as this person who just like sits alone in my house all the time, like
Yeah.
like nobody. I
got,
don't exist.
I got it. This wasn't because of Twitter. This was because of a play I did in high school. But I got recognized one time when I was in high school, and I had done this. What was it? I had done. I did. It was. I think it was when I did Hamlet, and I had played Hamlet. Humble flex. But I had done it, and I guess this person had like seen the production, and I was ordering food with like my mom or something, or I was ordering something with my mom or my parents or whatever, and this girl was like, wait, you played Hamlet, right? And I was like, yeah. I didn't know what to, I was like,
Like, how did you know that?
and my parents were looking at me, they were like, I was like, oh yeah. And she was like, you were so good. Like, oh my God, it was so good. And I was like, thank you. I was like,
That must have been like a cool moment,
it
because you're
was
recognized for something that you like worked hard for.
Yeah, it was, but it was also like weird because I'm not used to that. So
Yeah.
it's like, I was like, I was like, I don't. It was kind of scary.
No,
I
the
was like,
concept of like existing in other people's minds is like
that
what,
freaks me out.
because they have like a perception of you that is not the same as like
Yeah,
yourself. So it's really weird.
and I have like no way of knowing, you know.
But I guess that's true with like everyone you meet. They have a different
Yeah.
perception of you, which I hate that.
And it
Like-
goes like the other way too.
No, that's true. But also like imagine like being like back in 7th grade, like people who knew you back then only have that perception of you, like the 7th grade year.
Oh
And, like,
God,
that haunts my nightmares, because I am not the same person I was when I was like
me
13.
neither.
So-
I'm very different.
I think I'm much cooler now, and everyone should know I'm really cool and sexy. So if they remember like 13-year-old me, they need to erase that.
If you knew me when I was 13, you did not know me.
No, I tried to scrub every trace of me from when I was like younger off the internet, or like from like people's like knowing me. Like I'm sure people think I'm like dead. The people who used to know me, because like there's nothing.
Well, I like got rid of like my Facebook. I got rid of like a whole bunch of Twitter accounts. I got rid of like I archived a bunch of things on Instagram, and I made my Instagram private, and I like cleaned up my following and like all this shit, and I went ghost. I literally like I had
Ghost mode.
I had like a manic episode or something, and I just like went ghost mode. The last thing that's like a tie to my youth is my Tumblr account, and I've been trying to delete it for like so long, but like I keep clicking like delete account, and it keeps like giving me like an error code, or it's like there's nothing here, and I'm like, can you please?
And then it's still up?
Yeah, I can still like scroll my dash if I want to, but I don't want to. It's so
Yeah.
I don't want that account anymore. And I had made like a new one like last year or something for like my new interest. I just ended up deleting that too, because I just don't use Tumblr anymore.
Tumblr's just like not the same.
No, oh my God, 100%.
It's not in its prime. Once they took the porn out, it's
You
like
can't say that.
Oh, I can't say that. I can't say that.
No, you literally no. I mean, honestly, I don't even give a shit about that.
No,
I'm
me
glad
neither,
they
but I
took
feel
that
like
off.
it changed.
Oh no, like the platform itself changed,
Yeah.
because like honestly, like the porn bots, like I don't really care. They were really annoying.
No,
And
they
seeing
were
that
for
shit
sure.
sometimes, it was like really weird, like unwarranted. But like after that whole era, oh my God, now it's just like lifeless. It's so boring. Like it literally is just boring.
I miss
And
the good old days though. Even
the
though
good old
I'm sure
days.
like looking back it was really cringy because like I went to
Yeah.
go delete my Tumblr like a couple years ago and
Yeah.
I was going through all my old posts and I'm like, why would I reblog that? Why would I post this?
Yeah, there's a lot of shit that I was like, you know, because I was like 13 and I didn't know
Yeah.
any better. And like I had reblogged and liked, and I was like, and now I know better, you know, because
Yeah.
like it's like almost 10 years later. And now I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, it's like cringy, and I just want to like delete it because it's like I'm past that.
Yeah.
And
And you're
I
like,
also
let's not
just,
remember that anymore.
yeah,
Let
let's
that
move
die.
on. Like I've learned, I know better now. I've learned, and it's nothing like bad. Like I'm saying, like I know better. Like it's literally nothing like terrible. It's
It's
just
just
like,
cringy.
yeah, it's just cringy.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like I'm trying to get rid of it. But it's crazy to think about. Like I've had this specific Tumblr account since like 2011.
That's so long. That's 10 years. Or that's
11
11 years.
11
I
years.
can't do math.
That's like half my life.
No, that's insane.
It's weird. And I was like, what the fuck? Like it literally, it did not kick in until like I was like trying to delete it.
It's
And
kind
for
of
a
like a
sec,
time capsule though, because you can look
yeah,
back
but
and see all
I
that
don't
stuff.
want
You're like,
to,
I don't want to.
I don't
No,
want to, I don't need to.
it hurts.
I don't
It's like,
need to.
eh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
what
I'm,
side of Tumblr were you on? That's the important question.
Listen, I was kind of where it was fucking at. Like I was on the iconic Tumblr 2013 indie music, Arctic Monkeys, Lana Del Rey, Electra Heart, Marina and the Diamonds. I was on that side of Tumblr
with like
the black and white grids and the 505 lyrics.
Yes, the cigarette pack with like the Arctic
cigarette
Monkeys
pack with all the
lyrics.
names,
Yeah.
all the
song
names
titles,
of the
yeah.
songs on them.
The
And,
black
like,
water.
oh my God.
I always wanted that.
Me too. There was a girl, I remember in high school, there was a girl that like had a bottle of it. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, is that like good? I don't know. I don't remember what she said. She's kind of an asshole.
I only dreamed of that stuff. I lived in my little yeehaw town looking at all this stuff and I'm like, black water.
Oh my gosh.
So cool.
I literally the fishnets and the
Yes.
chokers and the American Apparel skirts.
Speaking of, it's all coming back. We're
It
having a
is.
2013
I saw this. I
Tumblr
literally
girl summer.
I predicted this. It was so crazy because like last year and like this fall, I was like, it's gonna come back. I just know it. I was like, I can see it. You know, like people are getting tired of the Y2K 2000s thing.
No, it's coming like full circle.
It literally
like,
is.
Fashion, it just keeps going and going.
Exactly.
And we're at the point where like literally this was only a few years ago. It's coming back.
It was literally like 10 years ago. And people on and like kids on TikTok are already like, wish I lived in this era. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I should not be feeling as old as I'm feeling right now. Like I literally was there. I was like, I was there. I lived it.
Something I find weird about kids now, they make us feel way older than we are. Because I swear, when I was that age, like people who were like our age, I didn't like, I don't know, I didn't see them as like old like they see us these days. They're like, we're like ancient. And we're only in our 20s.
Literally, we're literally only in our 20s. Like I'm only 22. You're only 21. Like we are not that old. And mentally, like I still feel like a teenager sometimes, you know? Like I don't feel like a full-grown adult, you know, and I don't think I will until I'm like 26, 27.
I don't think
even
I
then
ever will.
No, like literally it will never like set in. But it's like there are people, and of course like this isn't like everyone, you know, under our age that makes people feel like this, but
it's a majority.
There is a very, I think it's more like a loud minority. There is a loud kind of community of younger people that kind of like treat people that are over the age of 18 like they're, you know, 1 foot in the grave. And it's, I make jokes about it all the time, but it's like the, you know, like the other day, who is it that someone did like it was like a girl from like 2000s Disney. Ashley, was it Ashley Tisdale? She, no, yes, I think. No, it wasn't Ashley Tisdale.
Okay.
Another blonde Disney girl. I can't remember who it was, but she's like 34. Not old. That is not old. That is actually still very young. And she did this photo shoot, and it was like a nude photo shoot, but like a tasteful nude photo shoot where things are covered, but she's nude. Whatever, that's not really important. So, but she's beautiful. She's a beautiful woman, and she's young. 34 is still very young,
yes,
in the grand scheme of things. And people were like, there were so many people that were like quote retweeting the pictures, and they were like, oh, she looks good for her age.
For her age?
I was like, she's 34.
Do people forget that like 30s is supposed to be your prime?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's when people like fully become themselves in their 30s.
No,
like,
literally, like the more like people in that hit 30 are like, wow, like now I feel like I know who I am, you know, and you kind of like are under this false like pretense of like you'll know who you are by your 20s, and we are here to tell you that no, you won't.
I think it goes along with that thing where people are getting older younger. Like, yes. 10-year-olds are acting like they're like our age. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things, and it's like, it's sick. It's disgusting.
It is. It's upsetting.
And no, it's sad. Like, cause I'll see some of my little sister's friends, and they're already like acting like they're old. And I remember being like really young, and I'm like, oh my God, I wish I was like this age, because being young sucks. And it's like, it's really sad. And there's like a specific term for it, because in like the, what's the word? Like when they're like selling products, they have a specific word to make people like younger people want to go for things that are,
I can't remember what the word is.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
They have like a term that they use, and it keeps getting younger and younger.
Yeah.
It's so
demographic?
Well, no, it's not that. It's like a specific thing, because they're like intentionally making each generation want to go towards being older, younger.
It's so sad.
That's a serious topic, but like that's something I think about all the time, because when I was young, like I used to think that way, and then seeing my little sister and her friends, it's like, whoa, they're following in my footsteps, but still younger now.
Yeah. And even then, like I remember having thoughts of like, oh, I wish I were older, you know, because sometimes you feel like restrained as a kid, but I also was still able to be a kid, you know, like I didn't have adulthood shoved down my throat so early, but it is getting like earlier and earlier. Like there's people that are like 13 that are already acting like they're in high school, and it's like even further, and it's like, slow down, like chill out. Oh my gosh. And I as someone that has been on the internet since I was 11, it's like that's a lot of the reason why these things are happening. Not to be like one of those people that's like, the internet, the social media is the blah blah blah.
Get off the internet and play outside, kids.
This is like we have social media, like we use social media, and it's like it can be fun. Like we were just talking about how we met all these like amazing people, all these like close friends, and like we got lucky. Like we got lucky to meet people that aren't creeps.
Because there's a whole other side of that that's so dangerous.
Yes, exactly. And not everyone can say that, unfortunately. Like there are a lot of instances where I've seen people like expose users that said they were like 15-year-old girls, and they're actually like 22-year-old guys. And it's like, these things happen. Like you need to be careful. And to see like younger kids, literally kids, and to see that, and to see them like have to kind of be forced into like an older role because of like spreading awareness, or like because of the content that is on social media and stuff like that, and how unregulated it is, and how like you can kind of just happen upon the most like depraved shit, and you're like 13, and you know, it's sad because it's like I know firsthand how that will affect you as you get older, because now I'm dealing with the repercussions
Mm-hmm.
of being exposed to things, exposing myself to things that I should have not exposed myself to at the age that I
And you know
exposed
what's
myself
kind of
to it.
scary? Like me and you, when we were younger, we didn't have the internet. Like it wasn't like in every home like it is now. Like
Yeah,
at
like
least
we
for
didn't.
me, like
Yeah,
I
like
didn't have it right away. Like as
it
soon as I
wasn't.
was born, there was no iPad in my hand as a baby,
Yeah,
you know?
it
So what
wasn't. I was just gonna say, like, it wasn't. It wasn't prominent until like my teen years.
Yeah, but like these kids now, they're growing up on the internet. So I don't
Yeah,
know how the outcome of that's gonna be when they hit adulthood or like as they
yeah,
get older. I don't know how that's gonna be on their brain. I feel like
exactly.
I don't know. I feel like it makes them feel like less like things are real because I feel like a
Yeah,
lot of kids now like they don't have the thing where they can be compassionate or like
yeah,
can feel with people. A lot of empathy I think is dying along with the newer
yeah,
generations. But also at the same time, people are also on the other spectrum of that where they're very
yeah.
empathetic, maybe a little too
Hmm.
much. You know what I mean?
No, I totally get you. Like based on like the things that I'm seeing in people our age who had that like half 90s, half 2000s like childhood kind of thing. Um it's interesting to see like I'm worried that it's going to be like 10 times worse, you know, cuz it already is like hard, like it I can already see like the effects in myself and like people my age and how desensitized we are to a lot of shit. But it's like kids these days, like they see so much shit, more shit than like we did. And
Mm-hmm.
the 30-year-olds can be like, oh, like when we were kids, like in the early days of YouTube and like Tumblr and shit like that, we saw a lot of crazy shit. We're desensitized. And it's like they're trying to wear it as like a badge of honor. And it's like, that's not something you should be proud of. That's
But
like
also those
sad.
people, that's not even like half of what kids these days are
No,
gonna see.
exactly. Like
Because
that's
there's
not even
so
half
much
of it.
more. There's so
There's
much more,
so
and
much
it's
more.
so
And it's
much
so much
less
more
safe.
readily available.
Yeah.
It's like it's not stuff you have to go deep into the web to find, or it's not stuff you end up deep in the web finding.
No,
It's
that is
stuff
kind of
that's
weird
like,
because like when we were younger, like the weirder, like scarier stuff was like the dark web, the deep internet. But now
yeah,
like the surface level is where all the like scary stuff is.
you had to fall down a rabbit hole to get to that shit.
Yeah.
But it's like now today you open Twitter and it's like you could find porn on your timeline just
Or a
randomly.
dead body. I've seen so
Yeah,
many pictures of dead bodies like just scrolling through my
it's
feed and
so
it's like,
sad.
yeah, I don't want to see that as soon as I wake up in the
Exactly.
morning to check my Twitter, you know?
Yeah. And it's like it's like it, and it's sad because it's like there is so much like bad shit just happening in the world, and it's like there is so much like awareness that needs to be spread. But at the same time it's like, you know, at what point is it just taking a toll on everyone, you
Yeah.
know? And it's also just like seeing that, or seeing like videos of people like getting hurt, you know, or being hurt
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It's like that's also, or being killed is also like having that spread around like a social media website. Like I feel like that's also like disrespectful to them, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
And
And no human is supposed to see that every single
no.
day. And
And
we
even
see it all the time throughout the
yes,
day. So, like, what kind of effect is that going to have on the
exactly.
mind later on? You know what I
And
mean?
it's like it's sad because it's like on one hand you're like, I want to be aware of what's going on and I want to know like what's happening and stuff like that. But on the other hand, it's a double-edged sword because it's like now it's like all of this emotional what's it called, emotional like now all this emotional like like I don't know what the word I'm thinking of is, but it's just like you're just carrying a lot now emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
and and even if it's like, even not like, even when it's like not the dark stuff, like like we were not made to take in the amount of thoughts and opinions, good and bad, like we were not meant to take that in any capacity, much less every day all the time, you know? There's like we're not meant to take in all of that, you know? There's people, there's like 15-year-olds on Twitter with like 15,000 followers taking in like 15,000 opinions every day, every 5 minutes. And it's like, that's not,
It's not
that's
normal.
not normal. That's not what we were, that's not how we were wired to interact. And it is so exhausting just seeing the opinions of so many strangers. Like it's just crazy. It's like tiring. But then it's like at the same time, social media is good, you know, like there's a lot of good that has come out of it, a lot of accountability and information and people meeting friends and people meeting loved ones. And, you know, like there's a lot of great things that have come, like people having their creativity and their art uplifted and getting opportunities because of that. Like it's there's a lot of good that comes out of it, but it's also, there can be a lot of bad too. And it has, I'm gonna sound so old,
say it
but it has come a long way, you know, because it going from like being on Tumblr to now, where it's like on Tumblr, if your art got stolen, there wasn't much you could do about that. It was just kind of like tough, you know, sorry, but tough. But now if you steal someone's art,
you can expose them. You can be like, this person
or
took
like
my art.
Or like a bunch of strangers will be like, actually, I follow that artist, credit the artist, and we'll hold you accountable for that. And there is a level of like that, like that's good. Like there's a level of accountability that like that's good, that people are for people they don't even know, that people are coming to their aid and fighting for them, especially artists and stuff like that. But then on the other hand, double-edged sword of internet, there are people that are, you know, dying on hills that they shouldn't be dying on, and it's like not even their hill to die on, you know what I mean? And it's like, on one hand, I feel like the internet can just be summed up with like people taking it too far, you know, in literally every aspect. So it's, I don't know, it's like it's just interesting. Like the internet is so interesting.
No, it 100% is interesting.
It's and so like weird.
What's weird to me too is like, well, social media is a part of everyone's lives now. So like it's hard to like even separate it at all, because like I don't think I could go probably a day without like checking at least one of my social media, which sounds stupid, but it's like that's my like my friends are
it's
on
so
there, you know
ingrained.
what I mean?
And like we message on there, and I keep in contact with people, and they're like, I don't have all of my Twitter friends as like numbers. So it's like that's how I keep in contact with people, or like Instagram too, or WhatsApp and stuff like that. So it's like that's how I talk to these people, because that's the only way I can. And especially since, you know, being friends with so many people that are not within like a walking distance from me, it's like I can't just like go over their house and hang out like people on our parents' generations could, you know what I mean? And that's like it. So it kind of gets like difficult, because then you want to take like a break, or you want to distance yourself, or like separate yourself from. That's what I've been trying to do lately. I've been trying to like, you know, put a stopper and like try to kind of
limit
separate
your time on it.
Try to, you know, break the chains I have to my phone. But at the same time, it's like my friends are there, you know?
It's so hard to have like a healthy balance of like social media or like phone time in general. Like I'm also trying to find like a way to be on it less, or like try to like live more, I guess.
Exactly. And it is difficult, but I have done it before, and I feel like I can do it again. Like I had this one moment where I was just really overwhelmed by social media, and it was like making me very anxious. It's like it was like nothing in particular. It was just like it was just social media was getting to me. And I had like turned off all my notifications, and I put my phone down, and then not getting the notifications like helped me like forget to check almost. And next thing I knew, it was like 2 weeks, and I was like so much better. And then I realized, I was like, oh, I like have not checked my phone in like so long. I was like, whoa, wait.
That must have been like a good feeling though, to be like,
oh,
wait,
it was
I didn't
so
need
great.
it.
I felt like I had a vacation. It was like so wonderful to just like, you know, be with myself and like read and stuff like that. And so like now I turned off like my notifications for a bunch of my like social media apps. Like I turned off my Twitter notifications and my Instagram notifications. And of course it's a little more difficult this time because I work on a computer at work, so it's like I still have that kind of, but I do now. I kind of like implement moments in my day where I like am not on my phone, or I try not to be on my phone as much. And so I like have like an hour and a half walk that I have a day, especially since like the weather's getting nicer lately. So it's like after work I just kind of like have a walk, and I just play some music, and I just, spend some time outside, and I walk like really far and stuff like that. So it's like that's like a good thing to implement. And I also
That's a
am
really
trying
like
to,
healthy thing too.
yeah, to just kind of like get out of the house and have like some kind of hobby
Yeah.
that's not intaking content. It's hard to think of, because it's like, oh, I need a new hobby, and then immediately you're like, oh, reading or whatever, and it's like, no, that's still like consuming media, you know. And like I remember there was a tweet talking about that, like no one has a hobby that isn't consuming media, and people are like, reading, and that's like, that's media, you're consuming
Yeah.
media. And people were like up in arms about it, but it's true, like that is consuming media. And granted, like reading is a good thing, like it's a great thing, you should read more often, and like it, exercises your mind, and it's a great media consumption, but it is consuming media. And so like all the hobbies I was thinking of were like some variation of that, and I was like, no, I need to not do that. I need to find a hobby or hobbies that will get me outside or get me out of my room, that will have me exercising my brain, because my memory loss has been really bad, and mental health issues. So it's like I'm trying to find things to do. And I was telling you this over text, but I got a strawberry plant, and so I have to replant that, and I'm going to take care of that, and it's going to be really fun.
No,
I'm
that's going to be
excited.
so cool.
Yeah, because I love strawberries. So like, and that's going to be fun because it's like a low pressure hobby. Because like gardening and like plants, it's just kind of like, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you get your plant, you do what you can, and if it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, that's okay. Try
You
again.
can always
next
try
time.
again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And who knows, you might want to do more plants after that, and it can become like a
exactly
bigger hobby.
Exactly. If it's becomes something that I like to do, and it turns out well, like I could maybe move on to like a vegetable or something like that. So then now, I build these skills, and I develop a knack for growing vegetables, so that when I move out on my own, I can just have like a little mini vegetable garden for myself, and I don't have to buy those from the store.
There you go.
And it's healthier.
I'm trying to do that too, where I find hobbies that aren't like taking from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Have you found any?
No. I haven't really
It's
tried,
hard.
to be honest, but I'm trying to do things that like you said, like getting out of the house, or like I'm constantly like checking my phone, texting if like certain people are texting me, and I'm trying to get my mind off of certain people. Wink, wink. Anyway, but I'm trying to find things to like take up my time, but not take too much out of me, and that will be like healthy for me, instead of checking my phone.
Like a low pressure
feel
hobby. Good hobby.
Yeah. And something that will maybe like do good for me in the long run. Like gardening will do good for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's like there is a goal, and there is like a reward, but it's not like, if it doesn't happen, or if it doesn't happen the way you want it, like it's okay. Like nothing bad happened. You know what I mean? Like it's not like in school where it's like you're studying for a test, and if you don't get a good grade on the test, like you're not going to get into college, or you're going to fail the course or whatever. Like it's not like that. It's not like so stressful where it's like, if this strawberry doesn't grow, like I'm going to die. Like no, I'm not. If the strawberry doesn't grow, then it doesn't grow, then that's fine, because that happens. It happens all the time. Like plants are fickle, nature is fickle. So it's like I'm excited though. Like I'm excited because I do like being outside, and I do like growing plants and stuff like that, and I always have. So I'm excited. I really hope I do get like a few strawberries though, because that'll be fun.
That'd be
nice, something to look forward to. And if it like happens, I feel like that'll really like make me feel good and make me want to do it again, or make me want to try some more and stuff like that.
And doesn't your family already like grow vegetables and
Oh
stuff?
yeah, like my dad has like a little veggie garden kind of thing. Like he has herbs and tomatoes that he grows, and I think peppers. I'm not sure, I don't remember. But we do have like tomato plants that he does, and we do get some here and there. So,
Maybe you guys can bond over that too.
Yeah. I kind of would rather him not be involved in my gardening.
Yeah, you're like, this is my hobby and it needs to be low stress.
This is supposed to be low stress, Dad. But yeah, so I'm excited for that. I also want to get back into sewing because I do know how to sew, and I would like to sew, especially since it's like more environmentally conscious when it comes to
because then you can make your own
clothing.
things instead of like going out and buying,
and also like I am very short, so it's like buying things that fit me well in one way or another is like a nightmare. So
you're
it's
telling me I'm shorter than you. You grew.
I did.
Remember?
I had a growth spurt at 22. That was fun. I was like 5 foot and I grew 2 inches. That was great.
For mine.
I had growing pains yesterday. Can you believe?
For me, what I think I need to do, I need to go get like my scoliosis fixed, and then I'll have like 5 more inches.
There you
Imagine me tall. Oh, you know what? Have you seen those like plastic surgery like pictures
of the
guy with the longer legs? They're gonna do that to me. I've always wanted legs.
The height extension. Oh, that fucking kills me. It's so funny. Because that was made to fix limps. I think that those like procedures were made to fix limps or like limps that came from people having legs that were like shorter than the other.
Oh, and then they're like, how do we fix
make
people's
more money?
ego?
Yeah. So now people are paying for these like procedures to make them like 5 inches taller.
Do you think the short men who get that procedure, do they feel better about themselves? Are they still like mean? Because I feel like short men do have such an ego.
They do have a bit of a complex.
Yeah.
It's like a superiority inferiority complex.
No, it 100% is. I feel like would that fix all that, or would like that like make them malfunction and be like,
well, I mean,
I'm not short anymore, but I'm tall. You know what I mean?
But it's like the thing is that like some of these guys are just brought up to like 5'9", which is still considered quote unquote short, which I don't think it's short. Listen, let me be 100% vulnerable and controversial with this opinion right now.
Say it.
As someone who is 5'2", like, as long as you're somehow taller than me, I really don't care. Like 5'9" is not short to me. Like, I hate when people are like, oh, like, this guy's 5'8", 5'9", like he's so short. Like, no, like, have you literally ever met anyone else? Like, go outside and go to like a mall. Literally every guy is 5'9", because it is like 5'7" to 5'9" is like the average height for a whole lot of countries.
No, it 100% is. Most people are that height.
Yeah, in the US, I think the average height is like 5'7" or 5'8". So it's like when people are like, oh, like a guy's like short and the guy's like 5'7" to 5'9", I'm like, no, like he's just average size. Like he's just average height.
If anything, the people who are above 6 feet, they're the freaks. They're like,
no, like 6 feet and above. Like, have you ever? Like, I don't see people that are 6 feet and above that.
When we met Nikolai, he was so tall.
Huge.
I was like, that's like the tallest person I've ever met in my life.
When we met Rob from Inhaler, I was like,
dude,
he's huge. Like, he's long. He's so tall.
No, giant. It was so weird. I was like, is this real life?
Yeah, because like I can't conceptualize like that kind of height, and then I saw it and I was like looking up like it's like he's so tall.
And in that moment, that's when I felt short, because normally I don't feel short unless I'm around people obviously taller than me. But like my family's pretty short, so like I don't typically ever feel my height. But
my family's pretty average.
Yeah, so when I'm around tall people, they put me in my place.
Yeah,
it really put me down.
But then when I'm around like someone who's like 5'8", 5'9", I'm like, oh, this person's like really tall.
Yeah,
because they're tall to me.
Yeah. No, anyone taller than me, I'm like,
yeah, I'm like, oh my God, you're so tall.
By like 1 inch, and I'll be like, whoa.
whoa,
Like,
you're
Dana, you're
huge.
so tall. You're literally so tall. I'm so
And I'm like,
insecure.
what? I'm like, what are you talking about? No, but it's like crazy. Like height, it's like I can never conceptualize it. Like you
Mhm.
could tell me like, oh, this person's like 5'9", and until I see them, I'm like,
In
I don't know
person,
what
yeah.
I don't know what a 5'9" looks like. Because like people act like it's like this big, or people act like it's like 3 inches tall.
Although I'm really good at guessing people's heights. I'm really good at it.
I'm
If I
so
see a
bad at it.
person, I could like, I mean, especially in real life, but sometimes through pictures, I can be like, oh, they're this height.
See, I'm so bad at it. Like I'm so bad at it. I can't like. You could like point out a guy, and if he's taller than me, I'm like, oh, 6 foot probably. I don't know. He could be like 5'8", and I'm like, oh, 6 foot. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I literally don't know. Like everyone looks the same height to me sometimes. If you're taller
Maybe-
than me, everyone's
maybe
like 5'10".
You have to study heights now. And that could be your
Maybe.
skill. You gotta have the skill I have.
My hobby. My
Just look at
hobbies.
people, measure them with your mind, and you'll figure it out.
I can't. I can't like conceptualize literally anything. Time. I can't conceptualize height. I can't conceptualize anything. Like
It's
you
all a
could.
mystery.
It's all a mystery to me. You know, like I live my life in a mystery, and whatever happens. I'm like, okay, whatever. Oh my gosh, that's so funny though.
No, it is. I'm laughing all the way to the bank.
No, because like Nikolai and Rob were like really tall.
No, they really are. It's just like those moments were like unbelievable.
It's like, yeah, it's like those moments you kind of like realize how, like, I realized how short I was.
I guess
know?
it breaks the reality a bit. Or
Yeah.
like brings us, it puts us in our place, like I said. Like,
Yeah. And it is weird
That's
because
the
it's like
thing.
when you're
Go
so
on, go
used to seeing someone on your phone, you know,
Yeah.
and just kind of like I would see pictures of them and I'd be like, oh yeah, they look tall. But then it's like seeing them in person. It's like,
no, that
oh,
was
like
like
they
a
are.
shocking moment. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like strange. And I also just don't recognize people.
It feels
when,
like unreal.
yeah, like when we were waiting for the Inhaler shows and they were like walking up and I was like, hey, those guys look like Inhaler. And you were like, they
Though
are
they are
Inhaler.
Inhaler.
And I was
No,
like,
but I was surprised that I recognized them so well because normally I do have
Yeah.
a hard time recognizing people when I'm out
Yeah.
in public. Because when people pass by me, I never know. I could see someone I've like seen every day of my life and not know it's
Yeah.
them. But when
No,
they came by, I
literally.
was like, oh, that's Inhaler.
Meanwhile, I was like,
Okay.
oh, they look a lot like them. It's like, oh, I was like a guy who has like fluffy brown hair and is under 5'10". I was like, oh, that must be like Ryan or Eli. You know, I was like, oh, I was like, oh, he looks a lot like, you know, I never, it happens to me all the time. It happens to me with people, like you said, with people I've known for years. Literally, like I've had someone walk up to me and be like, oh my God, hi, Dana. And I'm like, who? I was like, who are you? Like, I'm
Sometimes
like,
I think I have face blindness.
yeah, I
Because
100% do.
yeah, because I can't recognize people. I could like I can't think of what people look like in my head half the time. I'd be like, what
Yeah.
do they look like again?
Like even now, like even though now we've seen them in person, I like if they were on the street, I would once again be like, oh, that's so funny. That guy kind of looks like Rob from Inhaler. And then it like fully is, you know. But I also feel like that could work to my advantage because it's like if I want to meet someone that like, you know, I like Archie Monkeys, for example, and I'm like, oh hey, that guy kind of looks like Alex Turner. I feel like even then that'll happen to me and it'll kind of like relax me a bit, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm not like, you know, freaked out.
No, but I feel like I'd be the kind of bozo who would go up to like say Alex Turner. I'd be like, you look a lot like Alex Turner. And
I
then
think
he'd
he
be
would
like,
love that. I don't know.
I
feel
don't know,
like
maybe he would.
I think he would like find that funny.
Or he'd just go, huh. Just a little laugh.
He seems like the kind of person that would like lean into that. Like if you're like, oh, has anyone told you that you look like Alex Turner of Archie Monkey? I feel like he'd be like,
A few
no,
times.
actually.
Oh no.
No, I haven't gotten that at all. And it's like him. Oh,
He'd be
that would
like,
be
you're the
really
second
funny.
person to tell me that today. That's so weird.
That's I'm so stupid sometimes.
No,
But
me
I use
too.
it.
We're
I use
bozos,
it.
but in the best way possible.
Yes. We're bozos, but like it's like chaotic good, you know?
Yeah.
Chaotic bozos.
No, we really are
Yeah.
bozos though. I'm thinking of all my
We
bozo
are.
moments. There's a lot of them. Top 10 bozo moments.
Oh, I have
That's our
many
next.
of myself.
That's our next podcast.
Top 10 bozo moments. Our next podcast.
That should
Not
be.
even though that would be really funny. Or we could just do a whole episode about bozo moments.
I think we should.
Yeah, maybe we'll have listeners by then and we can have them submit their bozo moments.
And we can read them aloud.
That'd be so funny.
That would be funny.
We should probably wrap this
Yeah,
up.
that's what I was about to say. Oh my god, you
my
took the words
gosh.
right out of my mouth. Okay.
Anyways,
This was so fun.
This
I
was
feel like
really fun.
this was such a good episode.
We
I don't know,
talked
like
about a lot of stuff, but like it flowed
Yeah.
so well.
yes. And it feels like it's been like 5 minutes.
And it's been almost 2 hours, right?
Yeah, it's been like an hour and a half, I think.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Anyways.
I can't wait for the next episodes. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about so much again.
Yes. We'll have to figure out what we're gonna talk about on the next episode. We'll have to consult our
I think it
Our-
will come very easily.
yes.
We're just gonna go on like 10 million tangents and then
we'll
that's
end
the
up talking
episode.
about 15 million like topics. Anyways, this has been Two Peas on a
Peas on a
Pod.
Pod.
First episode. I've been D.
I've been Lennon. Or
We'll
have
see you
I?
guys, or have you, or have we? We'll talk to you guys later.
See you soon. See
Bye,
you, besties.
besties.
Bye.
Bye.